What is going on, guys? I am LaserBolt, and today we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about the brand new mode coming into Call of Duty or slash Warzone, DMZ, and why you shouldn't knock it before you actually try it. There is a big incentive of you actually participating in this mode, and the biggest incentive is getting a very exclusive blueprint that you will only be able to get through the DMZ mode. Today we're going to be talking about what exactly the mode's about, why you should kind of make sure you try it out before you say it sucks, and also what are the advantages of playing this mode. So if this sounds interesting, a like would be greatly appreciated. And let's go ahead and talk about the brand new mode that's making its way into Warzone. So quick FYI, guys, DMZ mode is going to be free to play just like Warzone is. So if you want to make sure you try it, you're able to try it for freezies. Now, with that being said, what is the mode about? The mode is a PvP slash PvE mode where you're going to be able to fight against AI enemies and also real life enemies as well. Now, of course, there are different objectives that you're able to do within the map that are going to reward you some very exclusive rewards. And of course, we're going to have you guys completely covered on how to actually obtain these rewards and areas of interest that you should consider kind of going for, right? So the mode works very similar to Battle Royale or Warzone, where you have a certain amount of time. In this case, you have 25 minutes to actually extract. Now, you don't need to stay in the game for 25 minutes. You could easily just drop into the game, kill a couple enemies, and try to see if you can nab yourself a specific weapon known as Contraband Weapons. Now, these weapons are really important because the problem is that there are only two different weapon types found in this mode. You have Contraband Weapons and you have Insurance Weapons. Now, Insured Weapons are weapons that you're able to keep, but the Contraband Weapons are the ones that are the high risk, high reward type of weapon, because this particular weapon, if you die while you're playing the game, you're going to end up losing it and not be able to obtain it forever. So Insured Weapons are protected against losing, as opposed to Contraband Weapons that are not protected if you lose them. So what you need to do with these Contraband Weapons when you get one is you actually need to extract from the area and be able to escape the DMZ without getting killed. Now, one interesting thing that I want to make sure you understand about the Insured Weapons as well, even though they are protected against loss, they will be locked out when you die. These are only going to be accessible after waiting 10 hours. Now, there is a caveat to that because you can reduce the time you have to wait to actually get that weapon by obtaining cash within the mode. Now, when you start the game, you will be able to start off with one insured weapon slot, but you can unlock 2 more additional insured slots by completing faction challenges, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. There are a total of 3 different factions in DMZ: the Black Moose, the White Lotus, and the Legion. Of course, each faction will offer their own set of challenges that you're going to need to complete within the match. These challenges will allow you to move up in tiers, and the reason why moving up in tiers is so important is because each individual tier will award you a certain benefit. For example, if you move up to tier number 3, it's going to unlock another additional insured weapon slot for you. And as you move to tier number 5, you will also then unlock another one. Now, do expect that some of the challenges that you're going to be able to partake for the factions to be a little bit challenging, and some will require a good amount of teamwork. For example, some of the challenges are like clearing strongholds or combatants, or obtaining a certain intel from an opposing faction, just to name a few. Now, speaking about completing objectives and strongholds, let's talk a little bit about them. As you go ahead and descend on the map, there are going to be areas known as strongholds. Now, these strongholds are guarded by not only AIs, but very tough AIs and challenging enemies. This is where you're going to be finding the hardest hitting enemies in the game. Now, the cool thing about the strongholds is that they contain the best loot available in the game. In addition to containing the best loot, they're going to contain a thing called black keys. Now, it's very important that you understand what these black keys will do, because this is one of the biggest incentives of actually playing this mode. When you kind of go into a stronghold and you defeat a stronghold, whether it is that you want to do it by yourself or you kind of just want to jump on an enemy that's clearing one and take them out, you're going to be able to obtain the black side key. Now, once you obtain a black site key, this is going to reveal an area known as the black site. In this particular area, you're going to be able to earn a weapon blueprint, which you could keep if you exfil. If you don't exfil, you won't keep and lose it. So it's very important that you complete the stronghold and also exit out without death. So that's why it's going to be important that you strategize this correctly, whether you want to go in there with a team, you want to go in there solo, you want to make sure that you clear the stronghold, but you also want to make sure you exit out alive. Now, as we know, there are two really important weapons that you need to extract from the stronghold. The one is the M13B assault rifle, and the other one is the Bass P SMG. I'm pretty sure these weapons are going to be very powerful in Warzone, because if we do know anything about Activision, if there's a weapon that's kind of only being able to obtain from a specific way, it's going to be pretty OP if you actually get it. So now the question becomes, is Laser, what is the incentive of me actually playing this mode? Because I've seen a couple gameplay and it kind of looks a little bit boring. And I'm going to tell you guys, there are a ton of incentives. Number one, I'm going to tell you guys right now that M13 weapon is going to be OP as heck. Number two, that SMG, it's going to be OP as heck. Trust my word for it. You guys will see once people get their hands on these weapons, a lot of people are going to be like, you got to get this gun. Now, the only way you're able to obtain the M13 is either by purchasing a bundle or by getting it free and just playing DMZ. Now, in addition to that, guys, there are other incentives. Number one of the biggest incentives that I see here, now you're going to be able to unlock weapons that you don't need to do progression on. So for example, let's say you're playing the game and you're level 1 and you jump onto DMC and you want to get your hands on a specific weapon. So let's say you want to get your hands on like an SMG that you have to be level 20 to actually get. If you are able to get the contraband weapon from DMC and extract with that weapon will automatically be unlocked without you having to hit that level to unlock that specific weapon. I think that is a huge incentive for anybody playing the game, because that gives you access to weapons that you won't have access to unless you level up. So if you don't have a lot of time leveling up and want to get a weapon that you probably are not going to be able to get in a long while, DMC is definitely the route you want to go. In addition to that, it's also going to give you access to get double XP tokens, which are going to help you level up exponentially, whether it be a weapon or it's just yourself as a character. You will also get access to exclusive calling cards, weapon charms, and other cosmetic items, which I'm going to tell you guys right now, I believe some of the better looking cosmetics are going to be tied to this mode, and some of the really cool calling cards will also be tied to this mode. If there's anything I've learned from Call of Duty playing for such a long time, is that when there's a specific mode that they want you to try, they're going to put some really good stuff in that mode so you can go ahead and try it. But guys, that is pretty much everything you need to know about this game mode. Currently right now in its state, I think a lot of people are a little bit iffy about this mode. But like I'm saying, don't knock it till you try it. And I'm going to tell you one thing. This mode could be one of everybody's favorite mode in a little bit. Just give it some time. Let it develop. Let them put a little bit of work in it. And trust me, you guys will love DMC moving on forward. I hope you guys are enjoying our content here on the channel, guys. We're going to have you covered with more Warzone DMC coverage here, guys. So make sure you guys keep it locked here. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on all your notifications so you guys won't miss when our videos go live. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.